Hello, welcome back. My name is Judith. I'm one half of the Nitty Sisters. Together with my co-host and sister Julie, we produce a usually monthly video sharing our love of all things fibery. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and I really appreciate it. I truly enjoyed all of the lovely comments and interaction during Vlogmas. If you are a new viewer, thank you for clicking on the video. Certainly appreciate you checking us out, and would love for you to subscribe and join our little fiber community. Today I am announcing that I am going to do a project diary or a journal, a video journal if you will, on my 36 whips that are hanging just off screen here. If you watch my Vlogmas videos, I talked about my 36 whips a lot. I think there's actually 37 now because I forgot about a penguin that I promised a coworker, which is our very first project this year. So I'm going to do videos, and I thought I would just share with you that those are coming. So look for the playlist that will be titled Project Journals, and they're just going to be quick little highlights of projects that I'll be doing. I'll share with you the designer, the yarn, pattern name, any modifications I made, just a very quick short little journal about the project. So that's going to be coming. I also wanted to wrap up 2021 and talk about the shawl that I ended Vlogmas in the midst of making. So this was the Knitvent 2021 last pattern, the last window of that series by Helen Stewart. And this is the Ever After Shawl, and I'm absolutely in love with it. It has beadwork, which I have only done very small beadwork on shawls before. This was a lot of beadwork, and it is so beautiful. The yarn that I used was this color here is Pack of Heads, and the colorway was Dreamsicle. And then the kind of pink and yellow and creamy orange colored like variegated yarn, that is from Homespun House, I believe it is. It's a Maine yarn dyer. And it was the 2021 Machias Fiber Festival colorway. So I paired those together. The Pack of Heads was just a little bit heavier weight than the Machias Fiber Festival colorway, but it worked out just fine. It is super squishy, soft, yummy. I think it's going to be more of a spring or summer shawl. It just has kind of a summery vibe to it. Also, to finish out 2021, I mended all my socks. I talked about that during Vlogmas as well. And I used a technique that I found on Purl Together, the Purl Together YouTube channel. I believe the title of the video was Darn It. And she does these little knitted patches where you pick up stitches underneath the place that needs to be patched, and then you kind of knit back and forth, knit and purl back and forth, and pick up stitches on either side until the top, and then you Kitchener off. So it's kind of a new technique, and it's I definitely need some practice on it, and I think I chose a needle that was a little too small for these patches. But it works, and it creates a nice squishy patch on an area that I blew out quite quickly because I'm really rough on my socks and on the heel there. And then another technique that I did was just a sort of a weaving darning technique on areas that didn't actually have a hole but were getting very threadbare. So I did that on a few places. These socks were a sock kit from Morehouse Yarn using their Merino 3-strand. And like I said, I'm very rough on my socks. I wear them around the house all the time. No slippers, just my stocking feet. and I do wear them quite quickly. So this is the oatmeal colorway, and this is, I believe it's espresso colorway. And then the final sock that I repaired is the very first pair of socks that I ever knit. They're quite hilarious. I did not know how to do a Kitchener stitch. I didn't know what a Kitchener stitch was. So I just bound it off like you'd bind off the top of a hat. So I have belly button toes on these socks. It was my very first exploration in knitting socks with a wool yarn. So again, I did a patch. This was a huge hole, and then just kind of a weaved reinforcement on the heel. But all 4 of these socks, I did hold a strand of regular yarn from the original pattern on these, a fingering weight yarn because I didn't have the original yarn here. I held it together with a strand of reinforcing thread, which I got on the yarn cruise. I believe it was made by Regia, just to give it a little more structure and sturdiness. So yeah, I've mended my socks. That is exciting. I have entered that into my project journal together with the yarn, and I do need to just print a picture of them to put in the journal. And then the first project that I am tackling is a pattern called Penguin by Claire Garland. And so I have my project journal entry there. I'm going to modify the pattern a little bit to try to look like Big Z from the Surf's Up movie. This is a project that I promised a friend from work before we went on the whole pandemic lockdown. I'm returning to work in February, so I want to try to have this done before I go back to the office, and I'll have it as a gift for him. So that will be the very first project journal that we'll see. So I hope you will come hang out with me, join me for the project journals. We'll have at least 37 of them. My goal is to try to get 3 done a month, and more if I can. So I don't have a specific day that I'm going to launch or publish these videos. It's pretty much going to be when I finish the project, I'll do a final photo or video of the project, and then I will publish it on YouTube. So just whenever I get that done and edited and published. So I don't really have a timeline. So if you are a subscriber, or if you do subscribe, make sure to click the bell so you'll get notifications when those videos are uploaded. Julie and I do hope to resume or begin again for 2022. We hope to do our monthly update videos for you very soon, so be watching for those as well. And until then, stay nutty and keep knitting. Have a great day. See you next time.